What's up, everybody? Today's Libra knife fighting class. I want to wear glasses. All right, come. And also my wife gonna be in the video. All right. What day is it today? February 20 something. February 20. So today I worked on. Okay, let's see if I can remember anything. So remember, boom. So you're trying to go for straight to the neck with the side grip, and you gotta keep your thumb up here. You're going straight for the neck like this. So you're gonna go stab and pull. So you go stab, and then block, and then you pull the hand, stab, pull, and today's whole thing was we did a million variations of stab, pull, and then you go to the groin, to the stomach, to the head. So from this angle, so go stab, pull, and then this one, groin to the stomach, and to the eye. And it's important when you pull the person forward so the head opens up so you can hit the neck. Because if you don't, maybe you chin down, maybe they block and you miss. What else is it? So like that, boom, 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 boom. And we also did this variation holding with the hammer grip. So this is the sharp side. So like boom, 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 right? Down with, oh yeah. So boom, boom, boom. And then you can also have a variation where, let's say if you go to the groin, but mostly like in the femoral arteries, you can push it in there and assist with your hand all the way down so they won't be walking. But of course, the first stab, you should have already taken care of the problem anyway. But in Libre, they work the whole system, and you don't want to repeat in the same area so that the damage is spread out. So again, with this one, boom, boom, and then you go to the eye, stomach, then this one, and then all the way down. What else do we do? Which one? Oh yeah. So I go like this one. So basically it's the same variation but to the reverse. So go again to the back, you block, but instead of over, you go under. You catch, and then you go over, you go stab into the neck and slide through. Stab into the neck, slide through. Let's see it from this angle. Okay, so from this angle, this one's the front, so that's this angle. So you're trying to go from the groin to the neck, right? So boom, you block that. And then hand from underneath, pull in there, boom. And then you pull out. And then you go to either the gluteus or the anus, kidney, and then to the neck, spinal. And from here also you can also foot this and cut all the way down. So again, boom, boom. You stab here and then you cut, and then you go to the back, kidney, and then to the base of the neck. Here you try and go. Come on with some power. Go. Yeah, try again. Go ahead. Well, don't switch hands. Go. And then underneath. Faster, you gotta work fast, nice and clean. Go, let's go. Yeah, from under. Under the knife. This is a common mistake, under the knife, yeah. And pushing forward. So remember, another thing we did today was wall stuff. So use the wall as a point to kind of like crush the opponent. So basically how it works is the same stuff. Instead of like this point just being standing over here, you would go, so again, block, you pull them down, cut, and then you push into the wall, and then like you would continue to cut whatever. Or in this case was the back side. Boom, boom. So if the opponent's facing this way. So I'm gonna cut here to block, boom, cut like this. You would push with your body, again keeping things tight, and then to the body, and stab. And what else? Oh, we learned a couple cool things in the wall. You remember? The turning it around?
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, so if the opponent's against the wall, yeah. So I'm gonna go cut like this, and then this, and then we push him against the wall. Another thing you could do is, oh yeah, so let's say like they want to turn around and fight with you. They're really strong. They want to box, hold the neck or something like that, so they can fight back and actually kill you. So better thing to do is, as you got him to this point, you already crushed him to the wall. You put the knife back into the kidney, and how do you say? You go up and around. So you go up and around. This is a training knife. Yeah, it hurts. Even just with training knife, this hurts. So it's a very powerful technique to control with manipulation. You just push into the kidney and manipulate. And what else did they teach?
You didn't know what?
Oh yeah, that one you like. So basically, the important thing about cutting is that once the blade hits the flesh, so this is the sharp point. It won't necessarily cut by just pressing down. You do have to pull, and as you pull, the flesh slices open. But if you just push down, you won't necessarily cut. Now you might do some damage to the surface, but it won't necessarily cut. But as soon as you move a little bit, you're gonna cut through the flesh. So in terms of, let's say you don't want to hurt someone, so what did I say? So like, let's say you're grabbing my neck, and then you bring this. No. Be brave.
Not pull.
All right. So they just like put to the base of the nose and push, or to the cheekbone and push, or to the neck. But again, don't cut. It's for like non-lethal situation. What else did we learn?
What?
So no, there was one more. So next time, come here. This one was a cool one. So this one, let's say you have to, no, you here too. You have to protect him, and then something like that. Yeah, remember? So how do you hold the kid? So with the right hand, the strong hand on this side, and with the kid, protect the face and neck. And let's say if an opponent want to come, you can use one-handed and continue to attack that way too. And then, yeah, so like,
Have to hiding the knife.
Yeah, you don't want to show the knife, because as soon as you show the knife, your opponent's gonna go focus for getting the knife. Alright, so you want to surprise them. So
No, it's okay.
Try to go for it, and then use the knife. Another thing we learned today was about where to put the knife, and they emphasize on keeping it in the center line, so it's quick, either on top of the belt or underneath the belt. Now, how the guy had it, so you go underneath the belt like that, and then this is for a single blade. So how he had it was, he had a little sheath lined up with like a little string attached to a belt. So then it's like underneath here, so under your belt or in the center line. And let's say you need it, so this hand will come up, pull the shirt, and this hand will deploy. Another version was to the top of the belt, from let's say for another grip. You can also do another way to put it reverse for hammer or scythe or whatever, ripcord or whatever grip that you like, depending on the preference that you do in training. And this is stuff that comes with practice, and you got to put time in it. And these videos don't really do it justice. They're really these videos are mostly for me to remember the stuff I learned. And you know, if some of you end up using this in self-defense situations, that's good. You know, it might save a few lives. What else did we learn? Oh yeah, we're talking about double edge versus single edge. The key point I learned is that double edge knives in general are illegal in a lot of places. So for example, this knife appears to be double edged, but it's actually dull on this side. But because of the sheer length, it will be illegal in most places anyway. And also it's a stiletto, so it's again more illegal. I just bought it as a paperweight. I don't even carry it. But let's say, for example, if this was a real knife, or even this one, this is like a plastic boot dagger knife. It's double edged, but it's plastic. And this would be illegal in most places, but in a way, it's kind of perfect for Libre. However, given its legal status and its combative applications, it might get you in trouble if you're caught with it. Trick is not to get caught in Mexico. In other places, it'll be different scenarios. But as an everyday carry, it probably isn't the best choice. But considering the size, it might be a good one. Now this one, it's actually close to a fruit knife that we found in the Thai website. You can buy online. It's just for cutting fruit. This size sharp. You just like peel away the bananas or whatever the fuck you're peeling, mangoes or whatever. Very common in tropical countries. And it's very small, so it'll be about this long from here to here. And this is like, you have it in your kitchen. So, and if you throw it away, it's only like $1, where a nice, cool knife might be $300. And, it's also more illegal, more combative. And psychologically, if somebody sees you with a combat knife, you're more prone to be associated with crime or something bad. Whereas if you have a fruit knife with a Hello Kitty on it, might psychologically influence them to think, oh, well, we're just gonna cut some fruit. And in sort of a civilian scenario, this knife would be superior. However, if you're in the bush, or the situation in the city has deteriorated with the way the world is going right now, civil war everywhere and all that kind of crazy shit. If you have like a heavier duty knife, might be fine, because by the time they come to help you, might be too late. What else did we learn? Did we learn anything else? What else did we learn? Then where do we put the knife? Oh, we also learned about, let's say, these kind of knives where you open them, the folding knives. Oh, this one's a kind of a spring-loaded bullshit. It's like $2 here in Mexico. I just carry it for cutting fruit. It really doesn't do shit. Because by the time you get it out, and also if the spring doesn't work or if it gets stuck in the wrong position, you really should train with these kind of knives to get used to it. Otherwise, by the time you get it out, you might pull it out the wrong way or drop it, or and all of a sudden you're in the deep shit. So you got to get used to what you have and train with it. And as we used to say in the army, train how you fight and fight to win. So you gotta train exactly how you fight. The kind of stuff that you carry in a real world scenario, you should carry that with you all the time.
I want to say in Spanish, the guy never alone.
Which one?
The guy never
Oh yeah, another thing that guy said, like if there was a scenario that if your attack is nunca solo and nunca manus vaious. So the bad guys are never going to be alone, and they're always going to have some sort of weapons on them. So always keep that in mind. If you're in a self-defense scenario and you just dealt with one guy, he's probably going to have his body with him, and he's going to have weapons, or the other guy's going to have weapons. So you have to be always aware of these things as I'm teaching them. Another thing that we learned was with these knives. What do you say about these ones? Oh yeah, no, we were just talking about basically how I got into knives. Basically like this. I was in a self-defense course with Ed Calderon, and there was one part where he brought out one of these things. They call them dildos over there, and he just tossed it to the floor, and he said, 2 guys to one of these things. So as if there was a weapon on the floor, and you guys have to quickly get it and attack the other person. And at that point, I had no experience with knife fighting or anything like that. And my opponent got the first round. He just got it and stabbed me so fast, and 15 years of martial arts training, karate, boxing, Muay Thai, all down the drain in an instant. In literally half a second, I was killed. And it really opened my eyes to how practical and how efficient and how dangerous and how real knife fighting and how common it is. Because I always thought the superior weapon in the street is the firearm, but it's not. It's actually the knife. Because with weapons, the size and the bullets, and there's more things to be dealing with, and also the legality and the noise and all this stuff, and it can cause more problems. But knife, they're silent, they're available, they're in every house, every building you'll find them somewhere. You can even make a windshield wiper and just scratch it on the floor and it gets sharp and use that, or a pen, or anything can be used as a shank or whatever. So it's much more dangerous, because when you're in a fight, the bullets run out. You miss, let's say, 6 shots, you can throw your gun. But with the knife, you never run out. It's always dangerous. You can always keep going. And that's why it just occurred to me that this tool, being the most ancient, still to this day is the most advanced and probably most reliable, not most advanced, but the most reliable fighting weapon there is. So now, for example, the design of these knives that they use in Libre fighting is probably like, you know, I'm sure it's tactical, but the simplicity of the blade is probably a key point of, like, you know, easy to build and you can manufacture your own blades and stuff like that. And I'm gonna kind of look at some videos on how they, you know, get a slice of like a stainless steel or whatever kind of metal that they choose, and they sharpen it, and they just have like a simple you know, tape around it or some sort of cord or whatever. Like the instructor today had the knife with very you know that material, what's that material that's on skateboards, that's very rough and very grippy, I forgot, sandpaper, kind of like a sandpaper tape, and he had it on that, and it would just literally stick to your hand so you don't slip or whatever. And things like that that will go into the design of the knife are very important. But ultimately, it's a very simple thing that if you don't have one of these cool knives or whatever, you can use any knife you got. Like, for example, in this hotel, or Airbnb or whatever the fuck,
Boot, 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 says that.
they have, this is a kitchen knife that includes in this kitchen. See? You can see it. It's a simple kitchen knife, and it looks so much like our knife here. Very similar. And it works the same way. So this is the side grip, the sharp side pointing towards you for grabbing. And this is the hammer grip, sharp side pointing out, rip cord, and this one's ice pick. Like this one. There we go. So you just slash with that across. Very, just as effective as any $300 knife, and this will be like what, $1, $2? Just as effective. Now the blade, the spine is not very strong, but if you sharpen it, it will get the job done. What else did we learn? Oh yeah, the length of the knife. So this is very important. A longer knife is a kitchen knife, and a fruit knife. Now, this is obviously longer. In a close quarter combat situation, this is more cumbersome and can get stuck, and it's useful to go for deep penetration, but in reality, it's actually harder to wield. It's harder to wield and can be detected easier. It's harder to hide. And you know, if you're caught with it, it's more trouble because it's larger than your hand and all this stuff. With these ones, it's much more easy to hide. You can even literally hide it in your hand, like just like that. It's very hard to see, but with this one, it's very easy to see. So very hard to hide, tactically speaking.
Careful.
What else do we have? Do we have anything else?
No, only one.
Yeah, mostly it was repetition against the wall, going into the wall and controlling the opponent, and the different versions to the neck, to the side, and you know, it's essentially the same thing. We're right now focused on the neck. Before we were focused on forehead scratches. Now we're focused on getting to the neck. And oh, there was one more one too. Come over here. There was one more variation. So do you remember which one it was? It was like this, and then this one, and then go to the stomach, and then use your shoulder to cut. Remember that one?
Yeah.
So you go to the stomach, and you twist the knife in your hand. And
Go stomach and then twist in the stomach.
yeah, you twist the knife in the hand, so causing a lot of pain for more control. And at the same time, you push the person away, causing like they say, a smiley face. So you push them away, and at the same time, you gotta be very careful not to cut yourself. So, here, boom, 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 and as you're pushing away, you gotta hold the knife to the side. So always point the blade away. It's very common sense, but when you're in the middle of combat, you might stab yourself, cut yourself very easily. Very fucking easily. Just remember, it's just as easy as it cuts them, it can cut you too. So you have to always be practicing to keep your knife away. Okay? So if you cut yourself, very easy. So if let's say you're grabbing someone and then you boom, just flank yourself, just did yourself in. You just done played yourself. So it's very important to practice with the knife to keep the angle away from the body. Like, don't be towards yourself. Anything else? Oh, you're out of ideas? Well, there's tons of more stuff on how they use the knife. And oh, there was another thing we learned. Come over here. Come over here, man. Forget everything. You're such a negative person. Okay, so there was go stab. So as you, okay, this way. This way, this arm. So, boom. As you cut and then you go to the back, do you remember what else it was? You push the ear, you grab the ear, right? And then you can control like that. Remember? So let's go on this side. It's actually on this side. So you can grab on this side. So if your opponent's facing, you're facing the same direction. So, alright, so go ahead. Boom. Boom. Cut, push onto the way, to the wall. So you can grab the ear. And any way you could grab, you grab the face with the eye and all that. So you pull it back and go to the neck for more damage. Because sometimes the initial hit doesn't work. So this is important to know that you can grab the ear, the throat, the eyes, face, whatever.
Have to be tiger hand.
Yeah, tiger hand as opposed to loose fingers. You gotta really grab whatever until you can get control of the situation and not get killed by your opponent. And this works on anybody. For example, you grab my neck. Like, see? Grab my neck, and then like, let's say you have a knife. It's like, you have a lot more control, like this one. This one's this right there. You have a lot more control on me, even if it's a small person. Right, so do it, girls. See, it's hard to show, doing that like I told you, with the finger behind the trigger. Yeah, see? It's hard, it's easy to control someone even bigger than me. I'm literally double the size of my wife, and she can control me with getting to the right places and putting energy in the right place, and that can save her life or our kids' lives or your life, you know, if you apply it in the right way. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Talk to you guys later.